All right, one time I told you about the previous assignment that was given to you that you have to be serious with it and based on dimension analysis, fundamental and derived quantities. They are very vital. Computer science is not just about computer. You have to go through a series of science, mathematics, subjects that are very vital. These are basics. So I saw that question that day and I felt the need to simply put you through. Now, there is what we call dimension analysis. I did that during my university education. Now, it's a very interesting aspect in sciences and engineering because the sciences they also do it. It's not just engineering. Now, what is it all about? The word dimensional analysis. It's simply the method of analysis that is used in checkmating formula. It is used in ensuring unit consistency. So when I use the word dimensional analysis, I'm simply considering analysis that is based or used in sciences and engineering. So I want to compare how accurate my unit is and make use of dimension analysis. I want to compare or check for unit consistency and make use of dimension analysis. So it's used for consistency in units. Now, there is also the vital key we need to know. There is what we call fundamental quantities and derived quantities. We also have fundamental units and derived units. So take note, one is quantity, the other is units. Now, the first one, on fundamental quantities, they are simply basic quantities. They are independent quantities. Fundamental quantities, they are quantities that are dependent on. So the derived quantities, they depend on the fundamental quantities to stand. Fundamental quantities, they can stand on their own. We have series of examples like length. Length is a fundamental quantity. Length is measured in meters. We have other higher units like kilometers and all that. But length is in meters. The symbol is in, or the unit is in meters. The symbol is m. We have mass. Mass is measured in grams or kilograms. So mass, grams or kilograms. We have time. Time is in seconds or in hours. We have temperature. Temperature is in Kelvin. We have amount of substance. Amount of substance, moles. We have luminous intensity. Luminous intensity is measured in candela. It has unit in candela. So about 7 key fundamental quantities that as a computer science student you ought to know. Length, mass, time, temperature, amount of mole, luminous intensity. I think there is still one. I mentioned about 6. Now, all these units, they are dependent on. So the derived quantities, they depend on them to stand. So the key ones that are mainly used in sciences and engineering, you come across length, mass, and time. Length, like I said, in meters, mass in grams or kilogram, then time in seconds, hours, we have days, months, and all that. Now, these are the fundamental quantities that we have and their units. Now, for the derived quantities are quantities that depend on fundamental quantities to make meaning. So what it simply means is that the derived quantities cannot stand without the fundamental quantities because the derived quantities are having 2 or more of the fundamental quantities. That is how it works. Examples, we have density. Density is mass per unit volume. Density is mass over volume. Mass is a fundamental quantity. Volume, though, is a derived quantity, but volume is obtained from length length, three length times length gives you volume. That is why it is called meter cube. So each of these lengths are fundamental quantities. Other examples are acceleration, we have velocity, we have power, we have work done, we have energy. All these are derived quantities. So subsequently, I will show you how to identify and solve problems on these units, on these quantities, the derived quantities, how you can use them in solving problems, how you can correlate them from the fundamental quantities and then solve dimensional analysis problem, because it's very vital.